What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, as always, Mr. Art115, joined by my lovely dance partner.
Me. Welcome back, everybody. I am Carmo. Welcome back for another week.
It's Big Boots Murphy.
Back twice. It is, as I believe Edward Stewart Tape wanted to point it out, it's Boot Murphy.
We don't quote him here.
That's fair enough.
Never quote him here.
That's fair.
Do you know, I actually saw him at OTT this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah. So OTT Contenders went over to say hello to him, right? And all he did was put his hands out and go, "Nah, mate, you're not rich enough," and fucking walked away.
Yeah. He can be like that every now and again. He sounded to me. I don't know what it is about me, but he sounded to me.
Do you know why? Because you bought a house off him, which you still haven't moved into.
Yeah, that's fair.
Still haven't moved into.
This next time.
I don't know. I seem to remember most people moving into their house pretty quick.
Yeah, but I have to buy furniture and this and that and all that sort of stuff.
I can understand that because he's probably left you broke, so.
Well, close to it.
But we're not here to talk about fucking ES Twas, not one bit.
Hey, show him a little bit of respect. Edward Stewart Tate. Now move on.
But we're here to talk about Hard Knox Celebrations Volume 2. Because
before we get into it, you just mentioned there that we were at OTT last weekend, which was OTT Contenders. It was my second ever contender show. Your first contender show, I believe. I remember our very first show that we ever went to. Well, your very first show that you ever went to was the School of Irish Wrestling show.
Yep.
Kind of like a showcase show, showing all the talent kind of coming up and stuff like that. What did you think of the show? And more so, what did you think of the big surprise at the end?
So, okay. Some matches were fun. The Social Elite match was fun. Great to see people like Ian Skinner. Him and Sam had an okay match.
I won't forget. I'll forgive you for not knowing everybody's name.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of people on that card. That would have been like our first time.
Boots versus that Prince guy. That to me was just hilarious because the voice didn't match the body for your man.
Yeah.
As well, he was Scottish, so all I was thinking throughout that match was, where's my Harry Potter fucking Scots edition? I need this guy to read that fucking book for me. That was a fun match. Other than that, the matches, they were just kind of there. Dara Lynch, I don't know what the fuck you did to your hair, but your hair had distracted me the whole fucking match. It's like shaved on both sides and just puffy. I spent the whole match going to Will and my sister, just being like, what's wrong with his hair? What the fuck's wrong with his hair? Look at his hair. What's wrong with his hair? The whole match. So,
big fan of Dara Lynch. I like that.
But obviously, the big I won't lie. The show it's a contenders show. I didn't know what to expect. It's a training show. So
it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to see talent wrestling in OTT.
I can understand as well. It's a bit of a fun show for the kids and stuff like that. I didn't truly enjoy it, obviously, with not knowing half the fucking people. And as I've said many times here, I love shows with stories. Obviously, there was no stories in this one because it's a showcase show. But the surprise at the end. JJ Gale finally made his fucking OTT debut, and it was fucking brilliant. Here's my point of view of the whole thing, okay? At Contenders, there was a lot of people with long entrances. I fucking hate long entrances. You know, when they're clearly sitting behind the curtain, waiting for that drop in their song. So, I'm not expecting JJ Gale. I'm not really paying attention to the actual fucking theme song. So the whole time I'm going to it oh, fucking long entrance. Oh my god, here we go. Would you come out the fucking curtain? Just come on. Would you come out the fucking curtain? And then out comes this fucking hooded fucking figure. And it's like time froze. Just me and you just turning simultaneously being, no! Oh shit! And JJ Gale's in front of us.
I will say, we both spotted Rob out of the corner of our eye. Rob, who goes to every OTT show, you'll know Rob if you see
him.
Yeah. And I saw his reaction to when the music started, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is this is someone that we know, I think, or this is some talent that's fairly big. That's a surprise to be an OTT. And then he walked out, and I just couldn't believe it. Now I will say I did watch it back, and I don't know what it was from where we were sitting or whether the music was or what was going on. But when his music played, I hadn't a clue. When his music played and I watched it on the line on demand, I was like, yeah, I know exactly who that is. I knew his music straight away. But just from being there, I don't know what it was. I think
I don't
the
think
show
we were
was fairly
expecting
long.
it.
I think there was like 12 matches in the show. So the show was very long.
Yeah.
And you are getting introduced to a lot of new people, so you don't know what to expect. But yeah, incredible. And then to find out that he's going up against Jay, just added something different to it.
I'll let you take over what happens next because I think no one was marking out as much as you were.
No, there was a few people in fairness. But straight out of Compton, Jay Styles comes out, makes his OTT debut, and like incredible. The reaction he got, everything incredible.
Biggest pop of the fucking night.
Unbelievable. Like I think it was another one of those things that like it wasn't expected, and like a lot of more people know. There's a lot of people I think in Irish wrestling who only follow Irish wrestling, who will obviously know Jay Styles more so than they will even a JJ Gale. So to see Styles come out and get the pop that he got, run through the walk, guys, call him whatever he called him, and finally get the "this is gangland" moment was just incredible. Now he did get super kicked, he did get thrown out of the ring, but I don't think it's the last time we see Jay Styles in OTT.
I'm going to come back to the main event in a second. Joe, who was an absolute delight to meet that night?
Go on.
Peter Gandhi.
What a legend. What a legend.
Absolute gent. Like, I know he kind of struggled a bit to get around, but, you know, what an absolute... I believe he called you a cutie.
He did, I think, yeah. He's a nice guy, like. Coming all the way from Longford, obviously. Accompanying CBL to the ring.
Big up to Longford.
Yeah, like, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He did kind of cost CBL a little bit at the end of the match. As CBL kind of went for that kind of running, kind of like the Braun Strowman type thing where he ran around the ring going for that.
Got caught in the middle of it, nearly hit him.
And he got in the way. They kind of distracted from the match. They kind of take him out of it a little bit. But yeah, really cool to see Peter Gandhi in OTT. Whoever Peter Gandhi is, I don't know who Peter Gandhi is. He's some fella from Longford. That's all.
He was there doing live chat last night. Apparently, he's a coach. He's a coach, and he just happened to be CBL. Okay. So,
we're getting to know a little bit more of him.
Hopefully, please God, he seems like an absolute gent of a man.
Yeah, and if the counter result of it means getting more CBL and OTT, I'm really for it.
1,000% get the ball into the fucking back into OTT on a singles run, running through everybody. That's what we need CBL doing. But back to the main event. Absolute fucking stellar match. I noticed as well that JJ had spotted probably yourself more than you kind of stand out more than me. That he kind of did the fist over to us, and then as well, like every time, like myself and Will, it's hilarious. You can hear on demand. Me and fucking Will just going, JJ Gale, Gale, and he's pointing over to us and all that type of stuff. It was brilliant to see him. I really wish he would have got the win over Jay, because I would have loved to see JJ Gale versus Charlie Sterling match for the OTT European title. But at the same time, and I only just copped this afterwards, Charlie Sterling versus Jay now in a future match. Again, Jay going up against his former brother.
Yeah, and you think about the time that match could happen, because obviously I believe we have a show in Fingless, and then we have a show in December. There might be a show in January, and then you're kind of looking at the local rumble, which obviously Jay is talking about going in number one. Whether that happens or not is a different question. And he's talking about winning the whole thing, going on to face Big Demo for the world title. So Jay could have multiple championships on the line, multiple matches on a particular show for multiple championships, and who knows, he might walk out as the new OTT and the new European champion.
100%. And I can't wait to see it. Charlie Sterling is just kind of in the middle of the beginning of his reign. So can't wait to see those two kind of clash again. But only time will tell when we'll actually get that type of match. But overall, look, Contenders, it was grand. Obviously, it kind of isn't my cup of tea. I'll say that about other things. NLW wasn't my cup of tea. I enjoy storytelling wrestling more than just wrestling. But that main event fucking popped me up. Jay Styles coming out, JJ again making his debut. And I think what kind of was kind of like, oh, cool, this is such a cool thing. I said this to you in the car, was I did not want to go to this show. I said it was after Hard Knocks, and I was very careful. I don't want to go. I have no interest. I don't want to go. And Carmo was just kind of like, I have one spare ticket. You're taking it. Shut up. And brought me along. So imagine, like, we had this conversation with JJ Gale of him wanting to be an OTT. We had a conversation off air, like, oh, we like, hopefully it happens soon. You know, we're gonna bother Joe and be like, Joe, you gotta get fucking JJ Gale here and push him. And then to get JJ Gale and to be there, I would have been fucking sickened if I wasn't there.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Like I was saying to you on the way home, I think that like if you were at home and you saw that Instagram post saying that JJ Gale was in OTT, you'd be bored.
I would have sent many curse words to Tommy Flynn.
Yeah, Tommy deserves it. In fairness.
Tommy Flynn, not Robbie Mack. Okay, I know Tommy and Robbie sound different, same, but you know, it's Robbie Mack that deserves all the abuse. But speaking of Robbie Mack,
yeah, get on with it.
Hard Knocks Celebrations Vol.2.
You know, there was a bit of a sigh there, as if you had an issue with the show.
I have an issue with every show.
That's fair enough.
One thing I'll say about this show. Well, first off,
let's run through it, and then
let's run through some small bits first. First off, we've been going to every Hard Knocks show for 2 years. We have always stood by the wall, and it took 2 years for there to be chairs there.
Yeah, I know. Like even when I walked in, I wasn't a big fan of the chairs.
But it's like, as the show goes on, you become grateful.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. You're kind of like, as the show's over, you're like, right, my back isn't sore, my legs are okay, I am fairly fresh. Yeah, this is actually a good idea. Plus, for when we first started going to shows, we could have 10, 15 people standing by that wall with us.
Yeah, and everyone's just blocking your view.
Whereas now we're down to kind of like 4 or 5, partially because some people have moved out of the country. Some people don't follow wrestling anymore. Some people are now on the show. So there's different reasons for it.
100%. Like I was kind of one of the stubborn ones at first. I was like, I've stood here for 2 years. I'm standing up. And then eventually I went, you know what? Let's just try the sit down thing. And yeah, it's especially because we stick around for a lot longer doing interviews and stuff. You're not absolutely dying. Speaking of interviews, look out for those coming very, very soon. I'm just waiting on the footage, and then they'll be out. But
William, get out.
He'll kill you for that one now. Let's get into the matches. So, up first, we had, look at the goddamn size of me, in it in black versus, you can do that part.
Justy!
Nate in Black versus Justy in a #1 contenders match for the Hard Knocks World Championship, which, on our predictions, I shit you not, at the time was a triple threat match with Jay, and literally as we stopped recording, became a singles match. So, fun match. Nate in Black, I fucking love Nate in Black. Oh my days.
I think everybody does, in fairness, but like the thing that caught me by surprise was the reception that he got. And what like most people would kind of look at that as kind of like, oh, he got a positive. He got the absolute complete opposite of that. He got heckled, he got booed, he got everything under the sun. So much so that I even looked at him at one stage and was kind of like, "Geez, this is a little bit much." Like,
the only thing that was missing and wasn't mentioned was the fact that Lizzie's in a box.
That's your opinion, not mine.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the only thing that probably wasn't chanted.
Yeah.
Like, everything else was chanted.
That's opinion of Martin, not the podcast.
It's not opinion. I'm saying that was not chanted, and that's probably the only thing that was not.
Yeah, it's true, though. It is true. Like, he got some stuff like that, but he handled it well. He took it all on the chin. Good to see Justy back in in Hard Knocks. I believe the last time we saw him was when he fought Will Cruz. Mm-hmm. And he got absolutely demolished in what could be, I don't know if we're doing one of those episodes, I hope we are, it could be one of my matches of the year.
Yeah.
Contenders for this year.
Not contenders.
But a very good match. Match contenders. Match of the year
Oh, sorry, I
contenders.
thought you were saying at contenders. I was like,
No,
that
no,
wasn't a
match of the year
contender show.
contenders. Unbelievable match. I thought the match was really good. Um, you have that kind of element. I was kind of hoping that, like, we know what Nathan Black can bring to the match with the ability he has on the mic, the talking ability that he has, as well as the wrestling ability, and to talk while he's wrestling is phenomenal. But I was kind of hoping we very much got a serious Justin, which we have gotten in Hard Knocks. And I get it as well with the opportunity that's on the line for the Hard Knocks World Championship. And again, we talked about this when we did the show, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, about the stakes of who could be the champion walking out of Hard Knocks versus who this number one contender could be. So I get it, but I would have liked to see maybe a little more of the comedy from Justy to kind of rub it in with Nathan Black and kind of see what that element would have passed. But I still really enjoyed the match. I thought the match was really good.
Do you know what was really nasty and looked like it hurt like a motherfucker? When he threw him from the stage into the ropes.
Yeah, that was deadly. Yeah.
Like
everyone was wincing at that.
Like instantly, you could see the red line on Justy, and I don't know if proper hurt or what, but like he was fucking in
the worst thing,
agony.
The worst thing about it was like when you see people getting thrown into the ropes. I know it's normally only from the inside of the ring, but anyway, the ropes only move a certain way. But like when he landed on that rope from the outside, from the stage, landed on the apron, there was no give. Like that rope went straight with him.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Like
Justy then becomes number one contender. Thoughts? Without spoiling the main.
I liked it. I really did like it because again of what we said 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of why I said Jay when it still was a triple threat that Jay might win. You have that outcome, you have that story with either guy, no matter which way it goes. That you have that story with, and this is the same for Justy. Like if Steve wins, if Sam wins, you still have that story between Justy and Sam, Justy and Steve. So I was happy. I was happy.
I kind of agree. Like, I didn't see Nathan Black getting another shot. I do hope that we get more Nathan Black in the future, but
and Will Cruz and Leon Slater, by the way, and anyone else they have in PPW.
But I thought story-wise, from Hard Luck, it made sense for Justy to finally get that shot, which obviously we'll get into a little later on as well.
Yeah.
Next matchup. Well, there wasn't a match next. First, we got a little visit from the Snake, the Hard Knocks World Champion, Sammy D, coming out doing as usual. Talking down Limerick. I beat Steve Savage. I retired this fucker. Watch me do it again.
Yeah, pretty much. And another man who got heckled as he made his way to the ring, but handled it very well, as we know Sam can. Sam was one of the best in the country on the mic, and like he just proved it there again at that show.
100%. Next matchup was a tag team matchup with a team of BDE. I want to do my thing. Get up! Taking on the not so much a team of Fabio and Cian Noonan. And I believe this one was a number one contenders match for the Hard Knocks tag team titles as well. I said it on the predictions, but it's the old saying of a great tag team will always beat great individuals.
Yeah, I 100% agree. When it got announced that it was going to be Fabio and Noonan, I was really excited. I thought this might be actually a great team. Obviously, Martin Steers is on the shelf. Fabio is never going to leave Martin Steers' side when he comes back. But what a great replacement for Martin Steers to put in Cian Noonan into that tag team. But as you said, like BD are experienced. They've been tagging together now for the better part of 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. So like they have all that experience, and there's nothing against Fabio, there's nothing against Cian Noonan, but like it was always going to be BD, I think, as well.
Two great individuals will never be the great team. And I mean, like, do you feel like Fabio maybe didn't kind of it was kind of too focused on messing about and joking about? You know, you had the cock shot, you had the double 619.
I don't think so, because I think this is the stuff that he does with Steers. but it works so well because they have that connection. Do you know
Yeah.
that kind of way? I think he does this at every match. We just don't notice it because they have that fluidity together between Steers and Fabio. Whereas with Noonan, I don't think he did have that fluidity. I also don't think maybe Noonan was the right person for the team. Again, one of Noonan's biggest fans. Nothing against Noonan. I don't know. Now, who would I put in there instead of Noonan? I have no idea. But I just don't know if Fabio and Noonan was the right decision.
That's fair. Um, so BDE get the win, putting away two great individuals, and now, actually, to be fair, let's talk about this moment. Kind of a change in BDE, shaking the hands of Fabio and Steers.
Yeah, seemed to be a little bit of a. I don't know if we want to call it kind of a face turn, but seems to be a little bit of a turn, which is interesting to see. They have kind of wreaked havoc. Like you look back at the Step Romanos and some of the issues they had with BD and some of the issues that BD had with them, involving different personalities as well through Hard Knocks. But yeah, it's interesting to see. And I don't think anybody will discredit me on saying this, but like two of the best wrestlers we have in the country right now, Big Bad Dirty Nicky and Bittersweet Josh. Like Bittersweet Josh is an absolute animal. He's grown and grown and grown. Big Bad Dirty Nicky has been here for a long time. He's proven himself through multiple different facets. Maybe it's time to kind of prove themselves a lot more and take themselves a lot more serious rather than being the heels.
Who were the two greatest people on this island?
What did I say?
I think you've
I
got
said two of the best wrestlers.
I think you're forgetting there's two other guys around Hard Knocks that are the longest reigning Hard Knocks Tag Team Champions. They're going up against the Social Elite. Done.
That also proves my point.
BD, fuck off.
Maybe it's time for BD to start taking themselves. I don't want to say a little bit more serious, but kind of like that fun and games thing. They can dip into that a little bit. We have seen it. Maybe it's time to step away from that and rightly focus on to become the possible new Hard Knocks World Tag Team Champions.
Coming up next, and you're probably not going to be happy with this one, but big nasty Chris Connolly versus Butch Armstrong.
Match of the night.
Match of the night.
Yeah. There's not much to say about it. I will say that the two boys brought so much of a fight to each other that you could even see coming up to the kind of close of minutes that the two of them were out of wind. Like,
yeah,
if that fight had went any longer, if Chris Connolly won the match, if Butch had kicked out, I don't know how much further that match could have gone on, or how much that those two boys had left in the tank to try and finish one another off. It was an unbelievable match, and like to see Chris Connolly pull out stuff that we haven't really seen. Again, we haven't really seen Chris Connolly in singles competition that much. He ran through Robbie Mack. Sorry, Robbie. He had a fantastic match against Leon Slater, but again, Liam Slater, not Leon Slater. Again, just ran through him. And now he got an actual competition against Butch, who was someone who on the last Hard Knock show came back, fought Steve Savage, said that he was here. He made this company, he helped this company form that foundation that they needed at the start. He got let go, wanted to come back and prove himself. Did against Steve Savage, put in the ring against Chris Connolly, and like the two boys just had an absolute war.
100%. I mean, I actually wanted to bring that point up. We've seen Chris, I think, in 3 singles matches, maybe 4. I think there might have been 2 with Rob. But like we saw him against Liam Slater, which was a fucking brilliant match in itself. But this Butch match, it's like two guys going out there being like, all right, we're gonna prove ourselves here. You know, you Butch who, he go over Steve at the last show, or Steve.
Butch beat Steve, yeah.
Yeah, so Butch, he beat Steve Savage. He had a load of momentum going in. Obviously, Chris, having the loss at the last show, had a lot to prove, especially his tag team partner is only moments away from a big fucking matchup. So the two lads fucking threw everything at each other. I remember there was I think Butch was running against the ropes, and Chris just did a fucking body slam. He just literally ran and jumped at him, caught him in the ropes. It was fucking brilliant. At one point, there was it's not a spine buster, but you know the pick up and kind of power bomb spine buster. It was a hard hitting fucking match between the two lads, and it went on for fucking ages. You know, it was the crowd were fucking loving it. I really thought that Butch would have the upper hand against Chris, being more of a singles guy. But I think Butch is starting to doubt himself a little bit. You know, we've an interview coming out where you kind of see that side of Butch. I think he's getting in his head just a little bit too much, but Chris Conley picking up a massive win for himself over Butch. But in terms of Chris, like, where does that kind of lead him? Because like, you got Strong Style, and I know they're gunning for the tag team titles, but Chris Conley's a fucking monster. So
there's that thing though as well. I think I might have said this in the interview with him, and I mightn't have. I don't know if I ever said it in the podcast. I feel like I did. Maybe I was just talking to people. I don't know. But to me, and I know we have BDE who are now number one contenders against the Social League, but if I was looking at that match, if I was looking at who might win that match, the people that I'm looking at afterwards are Chris Connolly and Reardon O'Connor. Yeah. They're deserved contenders for that tag team titles. 100%. They haven't only proven it in Hard Knocks, they've also proven it in RCW, and I know promotions don't kind of tie over, which is fair enough. But like, Chris has proved himself in Hard Knocks. Reardon is still on that way. When you get into the match he had there in a couple of minutes, he's still on that way to proving himself. And like, the two boys together with Chris is like, the two boys together is just, I don't think they're unstoppable really. Like, just that power of Chris Connolly 100%. is going to take a lot for anyone to, like, even the Social Elite, the best tag team in Europe. Sorry, we can't keep the best tag team in Europe, the Social Elite, they'll have trouble dealing with that power of Chris Connolly.
They will. And I can say to that.
And then that sneakiness of kind of Reardon O'Connor, you never know where he's going to pop up or what he's going to do. It's going to be like, it's an interesting one. So for me, and I don't know why I'm doing it, but this should be a tag team title contender.
Question: did you ever get that shirt sorted out when he gave you the small?
No.
Nah, typical. That sounds about right.
I am plugging up.
I'm going to let you kind of talk about this one. We're going up next was the Steins Open.
Yeah. Jay Steins came out. He wanted a battle in Hard Knocks. He said that nobody was worthy. He hated Limerick, but it was now gangland, so it made it a little bit of a better place. And then we got young Jay. I can't remember who his name was. It was kind of like Styles or something like that.
We'll call him Lame Steins for now.
That's fair enough. But before that even happened, Steins, he was in the ring, and Jay Steins' music plays. And I'm kind of like, right, okay, who messed up here? And even saw Jay Steins kind of stand in the ring, kind of looking at the screen, kind of going, what's going on here? Like, oh, that's my music. Oh, I'm already in the ring. Who am I fighting? Then young Jay walks out. I was kind of like, okay, he came out in the nice kind of fur coat, giving it a little bit of a lip on the mic. And then we got into a serious kind of battle after Jay Steins ended up beating young Jay. We got into a little bit of serious battle as Francis Morrison made his way to the ring. And can I say, and maybe it was just me, I don't know, but that pop as soon as his music played was loud. Again, maybe it was just me, I don't know. But I thought that pop when his music played was loud.
I've heard louder.
His way to the ring. Oh yeah, that's fair, but I thought it was loud. Met his way to the ring. He said he was kind of up for a bit of fun. Decided to challenge Jay Steins. Jay Steins accepted. A little bit of a kind of shenanigans from young Jay as well, kind of through the meantime. But Mercer and Jay Steins ended up have a really, really good match, I thought. Mercer obviously coming out victorious, but a lot of like counters, a lot of kind of like ducking and diving from each kind of person, which just sent the other person flying while they were in the middle of a move. Really, really fun match. And then, yeah, again, at the end of the match, there seemed to be a bit of
show of respect.
Yeah, between Jay Steins and Mercer, as young Jay kind of came in and decided to run his mouth. Is that a fair way of saying it?
You could say it. You could say it. And then we got a
Yeah.
little stunner for his trouble.
Up two.
Yeah, true, yeah. One from Jay Steins as well. Imitating James Steins, and Steins says, "Fuck you."
Yeah. But yeah, like everybody knows my opinion of Mercer, and Jay Steins is one of the best talents we have in the country right now. So who knows where they go from here? Who knows?
For myself, it was like a segment. Mercer, as I said there, and I'll get into the crowd kind of towards the end. I feel like Mercer can do more, and I feel like Mercer can do better. If you know what I mean, he should be higher there than where he is at the moment. He's an unbelievable fucking talent. He's grown so much from the first Hard Knox show attacking Mikey Kelly to, we like show in, show out. He's been in the golden ticket tournament. He went through the golden ticket, came up short in the end, but he went through that whole tournament. I feel like he's deserving another shot at a title, and I feel like the next 2 or 3 shows, Mercer should be focusing on trying to get that world title shot, because I think the story's there. I mean, teacher and student. If Steve Savage can, get past all these fucking people, I feel like Mercer deserves a shot. We've had Steve and Mercer kind of acknowledge each other in matches, if you know what I mean. We had a hardcore match there about a year ago between the two, and Steve saying, "This lad's going far." We had one on a house show, Steve saying, "This lad's going to go far." I think it's fucking time. I think Mercer, it's time for him to step up, aim for that fucking world title, and just get going. Because I think I love Mercer much like you do, but I think it's time for him to step up and step out and just take over Hard Knocks.
Would you in a way? I kind of put it back to the match he had against CJ West, probably over a year and a half ago, where he just walked in and he obliterated CJ West.
I'd say some bit of that needs to come back.
Yeah. We like
Mercer. I'm not saying Mercer needs to focus on just himself, but he needs to refocus. Spots like fighting Jay Steins because he shot a guy, pretend in the ring to get a win, and I'm not doing that. I think Mercer's above that type of shit. I think Mercer is well capable of being in that main event scene, and I think he's well capable of being the face of Hard Knocks.
I think at this stage he needs to just take his opportunities, not earn them.
Yeah, 100%. As we've heard from one sculpted one already, no more handshakes. No more making friends. Focus on Francis fucking Mercer. Because no one's going to make Mercer for him. He's got to fucking go out there and take those opportunities. So, you got Terry Thatcher with the golden ticket. Scotty Davis with an opportunity at the world title. Scotty Davis took that opportunity. Literally took that opportunity. He had Steve Savage as an extra entrant. He said, "Fuck that." He threw the fucker out. Now he's got a shot at the title whenever he wants. Terry Thatcher, I feel like that ladder match was just wrong place, wrong time, and Thatcher got the golden ticket. But who's to say that he can't lose that golden ticket? Why not challenge him one more match? I came this close in a ladder match. Fight me in the ring. I feel like it's now or never for Mercer.
I do think whatever happens, and to give Mercer he's a little bit of credit, like he's come so far in the last 2 years of Hard Knocks. But I do think whatever happens, if we sit down at this time next year after Celebrations 3, if that's the show that they go for, if it's the last show of the year, we will be talking about Mercer either being or has been a Hard Knocks World Champion.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The next matchup, I know I gave you this one, but there was a tear in your eye. You've got to take this one.
Yeah. Gallacini Gauntlet for the All Ireland Championship. Gallacini has run through 4 guys then to finally get his All Ireland title shot against Renzo Rhodes. First up, it was Gallacini and CJ West.
It was.
We saw that little bit of kind of comedy stuff come out between both men, and it was good. It was fun. It was nice. Gallacini then reminded himself of what's on the line, and he made fairly quick work of CJ West. Moving on to his next opponent. I'll let you take this one because I know you've got points on this.
So, yeah, Boots and Gallacini. You know, it's kind of there on paper. And I think I predicted Boots to win this. And Boots was out super fucking fat. This is the inaugural Hard Knocks All-Ireland champion. First ever. And came out, no fun and games. He had that mindset of, I need this fucking thing back. I've not had my rematch. I need this fucking match, and this is the way I have to get it. I've got to put down Gallacini. One mistake, the whole thing was gone. Running boot, 1, 2, 3. Gallacini's advancing in the gauntlet. Now, I Go on.
I was going to say, to give Boots his credit, though, like, he knew that Gallacini had that boot. That, I don't know what Gallacini necessarily calls it, but it's a Claymore kick. As we know from Drew McIntyre. Probably. To give credit to Boots, like, he did go after that knee. He did go after that leg to try and stop Gallacini, to slow him down. And it was effective, just not effective enough, unfortunately.
But I said this to Boots.
I say unfortunately. I was
go back to when Boots lost the title. It was because he tweaked that leg. He tweaked it when he won the title, and the injury came back during the Renzo Rose title defense. I know he says he doesn't. I feel like there was some bit of, not hesitation, but like almost feeling bad, not having that killer instinct, and that's what really cost him. Again, and there's fairly few people in Hard Knocks I would just go to bat for, but Big Boots Murphy, that's the inaugural fucking champion. Okay, that's the first ever Hard Knocks All-Ireland champion. The man who used to have the crowd the palm of his hands, and he was gone from the gauntlet in 2-3 minutes. He had the damage done to Gallacini, but I feel like Boots again could be doing better. I feel like Boots needs to refocus. And you know, we've kind of had again, the interview's gonna come out, and again, he does not know what's next for him. He does not know what he needs to do. He just can't. It's not clicking for Boots, and he's got to put it all together, because otherwise it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again, and you know, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know, the definition of insanity. You know, and I think it's going to drive him to that, because he is so, I know he's got the focus on, he wants that All-Ireland title back, but it's just not clicking for Boots.
I make that question of, I wonder, is the injury still affecting him? Not in sense of the injury, but mentally.
Doubt.
Do you know that kind of way? Like, it was his leg. It's in the name, Boots Murphy. You just wonder, is that doubt in the mind? Even from personal injuries, whenever you get back at it, you always have that little bit of a doubt. What if this goes wrong again? I hope he doesn't have that thought. I hope he does get back on track, because there's big things to come from Boots all over the country, not just in Ireland.
I'll take this next one, because I feel like, you know, the next two should be you. Ryan O'Connor came out, and this is where you saw killer instinct, because he went straight for that injured fucking leg of Gallacini, hammering away in it, kicking at it, doing whatever the fuck he can to get Galla down. Again, very quick in and out. Gallacini got back to his feet. One swoop to the face. I believe it was a roll up then to put Reardon away, and Reardon was gone. So
Again, another man who did his job though by attacking that leg,
did.
really trying to take down Galacini.
He attempted it, but again, what does that say for Galacini? You know, here, that this is how much he wanted this for Limerick. So he managed to put everything together, get the fuck up, slap this fucker in the face, and roll him up in 1, 2, 3. Moving on to the final person.
Yeah, which is CBL, the onions in your burger, the sugar in your tea. We look back to Hard Luck, which I believe was a previous show, where it was Galacini versus CBL singles match 1-on-1. And like we saw that power that CBL had against Galacini, and that was a fresh Galacini. Galacini walking into one match. We saw that power that CBL had against him. And we saw kind of the fun and games that Galacini had in that match, which was now gone, as he was now in the close to the end of this gauntlet match. CBL came in, took his time, he played it cool, which maybe was a little bit to his detriment.
But again, he was saying to Galacini, "Is this gonna be fun and games again? Or are you gonna fucking be serious?"
Yeah, he really did lay in a bit of damage on Galacini. He brought it to him, a little slip up, nearly cost him the match. As Galacini got a roll up, it was a 1, a 2, but a kick out. Which just it kind of I think you could see it kind of annoyed CBL that he got that close to beating him, and he was like, right, here we go. But again, another slip up. He took his time, got
up to the top rope, went for something. Galacini super kick, 1, 2, 3.
Exactly, but I think he just allowed Galacini to gather his breath, regain himself by just taking his time that bit more. As you said, Galacini did pick up the victory against CBL. Now heading into the final match for the All-Ireland Championship against Renzo Rose and accompanying Renzo Rose, Ilya Zarkov. As we get into the match, you kind of look at Renzo and Renzo's kind of like, right, I have an easy job here. I have an easy night. This is my title. I'm retaining. I'm walking home. This is fine. He took it to Galacini. He still went at that leg. He knew where the weakness was. He had been paying attention to the matches. Really went ground to pound on Galacini. Really took it to him. He got a bit cocky towards the end with the title, with the flag and everything.
Tried to use the title. Gala stopped him. I think he took a shot to the face. But before we get to this part, obviously just before this, Galacini smacking him with the yurt kick. I'm gonna call it that.
Yeah.
Zarkov he's stopped the referee's hand from hitting that 3 count. And who makes the running save?
Robbie
dickhead. Robbie Mack came in, 100%. Cleared Zarkov.
100%. Like, look, we know the kind of connection that these Hard Knocks have with each other. Between Galacini, Robbie Mack, Mercer, and so on. So for Robbie Mack to have Galacini's back just says a lot for the connection that they all have. It did allow Galacini to go on, as I was just saying. Renzo still got the title. He wrapped it in the Italian flag, the all-Italian title as he saw it. They go to hit him with it. Got stopped. There was a bit of a... I can't think of the name. There was kind of a bit of a pull match.
There was. He was trying to pull the title away from Gala. Gala was holding on. He constantly put the attack on him with boots. Which then I feel like it annoyed him to the point that Gala was able to pull him in, hit the roll up. 1, 2.
The new All-Ireland champion. The legitimate Galacini.
Oh, and talk about it.
A special moment, really was. And like I think it was for a lot of us as well. Like we've seen Galacini from when he first stepped into the ring 2 years ago at the very first Hard Knox show to where he's
Alejandro.
And Axel Jarrett. Axel Jarrett. I'd like to see where he's come since then in Fight Factory. He's made his RTD debut, RCW. He's been everywhere. Do you know that kind of way? He's even made he's wrestled in the UK. He's wrestled in Spain. He's wrestled everywhere. And just to like see that kind of journey for someone that you don't get to see that often. It's kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, nearly like a Daniel Bryan kind of story. Do you know that kind of where someone started really down the bottom, being pushed down to the bottom, and just absolutely rose on his own over the space of 2 years. It's just incredible. And to see him get to share that moment with his family, to get to share that moment with the Hard Knox lads in Mercer, Robbie Mack, Monty, and Carmo, just incredible. And to be able to share a little bit of a moment with him as a podcast upstairs after the match was just incredible. Immensely proud of what Galacini has done and what he's achieved over the last 2 years.
One thing I forgot I wanted to mention. I thought it was so poetic that the promo was you interviewing him for the match that he won the All Ireland title in.
Well, it's funny in a way because none of us knew that was going to happen.
No.
You know, that kind of way, like you've done promos for stuff, we've known if things are going to go out or not. But that we didn't know about, and I just popped up on the screen standing beside Galacini, and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was a shock to me. And then to kind of, I suppose, kind of add that moment to the fact that he did win. I have no reason why he won that title, but to add that to kind of a part of the match was special for me.
I'm going to start to speed things up because I know we're stuck for time. Next, we go into the intermission. And next match is a Hard Knox Wrestling Club showcase match.
Yes. As we get, I know he's Skipper Shefflin. I don't know if he was on the night. And Scott, whose name I still can't remember, he had this trouble last time, against everybody's favorite tag team, Monty and Carmo. These two boys that they were up against, Skipper and Scott, were huge, powerful, and just absolutely took it to the two boys. Really kind of targeted Cormac on the outside, took him out of the match, and just destroyed Monty in the ring. Just destroyed him. So much so that I was chatting to Monty afterwards, and he was hurt after that match. Cormac finally was able to regather himself, get back onto that apron, get the tag, and start to clear house. We saw a bit of a kind of a flow from the two boys as their kind of tag team started to gel, and they did end up getting the victory over Scott and Skipper. But to take Monty and Cormac out of this, who I think should be kind of moving on to that kind of tag team title division now, really looking to kind of make themselves known as a tag team. If this Scott and Skipper, and I do apologize for not knowing the names, if they remain as a tag team as well, tag division better watch out because they're two powerful guys.
I was going to say this because I truly believe this, but I thought Monty and Cormac were above a showcase match at this point in Hard Knocks. We have seen them on 2 shows. They were in the match of the night in the last show. I thought they were above a showcase match. Nothing against the other 2 lads. They're obviously still training. Massive opportunity for them. But I truly believe they are above a showcase match.
So I come back to this point. I'm going to. If you look at what happened on the last show at Hard Luck, there was that kind of pre-show match between the Freshness and 2 guys. I believe Scott was one of them, and I don't remember who the other one might have been Skipper. I'm not sure. And then we had the kind of Freshness do their thing throughout the show. Steers obviously went on to become the Hard Knocks champion. Fabio, I think, fought in the All Ireland match.
He did.
Came up short. That's something that I would like to see. If we look at over the last 2 years of Hard Knocks, right? We've had the Social Elite, who has been champions for the last 500, whatever.
Not long enough.
There We've had BDE. We've had the Step Hermanos. Oh, we'll get over it. And we've had the Freshness, right? So we've had 4 teams in reality over the last year of Hard Knocks, right?
And I complained every moment about it.
Okay, we had the Blockbusters. Okay, we had Billy Finn and
Danny Storm.
Danny Flynn and Danny Storm is the other one. And we had Cora Meccan, right? Not consistent enough. They were on 1 show, I think, between all of them. We now have an opportunity where we have Chris and Reardon, right?
Yeah.
We have Monty and Cormac.
Yep.
And I'm even going to throw it in where you have Fabio and Kimo.
Yurt.
right? And there's an opportunity to make more tag teams there if you want to. Boots and King Newland, for an example, right? We now have that opportunity where they have more tag teams, as well as having the biggest tag team in Europe, the Social Elite, as their champions. That you now have an opportunity to really kind of contend for it. And they're not doing it.
I've said it
again. We're getting the Social Elite against BD.
Yeah.
Again.
I've said this, and I've said it on the podcast before, and I've said it, but I was sick of the freshness, as not the freshness themselves, just getting opportunities. The Step Hermanos, there was a story there. BDE have had, I think, 2 opportunities already. This one, fair enough, they've earned it now. But yeah, there are tag teams now that we can see come up. After this, 1000%, I think Strong Style have earned a shot. 1000% they've earned a shot.
Like, for me, I would have even enjoyed if we had BD against Strong Style as the number 1 contenders. And fair enough, if BD won, they probably would have been deserving. No issue. And I would like to see Fabio and Keegan Noonan against Carmo and Monty. Because we're getting new tag teams against new tag teams.
Yeah.
Because even in the same sentiment of what I just talked about with the tag team titles, and we have talked about over the last 2 years with the tag team titles, you have also seen Strong Style versus Carmo and AJ a couple of times. And it's something I don't think anybody wants to see again, unless it's for a tag team title. Yeah. So I do think that opportunity is there, and I think that want is there. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. But it is from the 2 of us.
Yeah.
Of having not a bigger, not a expanded, a different tag team going for the gold.
Moving on to the main event.
Yeah.
The final battle. Steve Savage versus Sammy D. I wish I could say play that promo because I want to. Can I put myself over?
You can play the promo.
The pop reception after that promo made me so happy.
Go on, talk about it, Con.
That's actually it. The pop, the hype, the reception after that promo made me so happy.
It was top notch, in fairness.
So
it was top notch and it fitted the match perfectly.
This story goes all the way back to the second Hard Knox show, Unmatched. And I'm not going to go through the story. We know the story. But I truly, truly, truly believe that the unmatched match, the Pride versus title, was much better than the final battle.
Look, there's arguments to be made throughout the
entire
show, right?
There's reasons, obviously, why. We know the reasons. We accept them.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just, as well, I love when stories and matches, are equal. Terry and Sam, the story they had going into their undisputed match, the match was perfect. It matched the story so well. In terms of, Limerick, yeah, it was the right outcome. But I just thought the match could have been so much better.
So many things I want to say, but I don't know if I can.
It's our podcast.
I know. I don't think it was the right time for the match. In the sense of, I think it would have been better if it happened a couple of months later. Because when you look at what Steve Savage has been doing, he's on a 2 or 3 match losing streak. I believe he lost to Joey Scott. He lost in the Rumble, and then he went on to lose to Butch. Right? You're now looking at Butch, who's after beating Steve Savage, which is a big win for Butch. It's a big win for anybody, I think, to beat Steve Savage in Hard Knox. Right? Butch always goes on to face Chris. Absolutely love it. They had a banger of a match. Chris came out on top. I don't think it puts any kind of damage on Butch because they both out having an absolute banger of a match. But I just don't think it was the right time. But I think they were kind of forced into it without kind of saying too much. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah. Backed into a corner.
Yeah. I think they were kind of forced into having the match without kind of saying too much. And there's not too much to say. But I think without saying too much, they were kind of pushed into a corner. I do think the match would have come off better if they could have built up a little bit more to it. Have Steve go on a winning streak to where he builds himself up to be a viable contender. Not that he's not a viable contender, but a viable contender for SMED. To where that match means a lot more. I just think with the match that they had on that particular day, and again, I could pick apart more of the show, but this is kind of where I'm going with it. I do think with the match they had at the last show, it wasn't up to the standard of the match that they could have had.
Yeah.
If it was left a bit longer. But again, time is tight. There's reasons for them going into this, and they had to do it now. And I get it. And again, the match itself, there was nothing actually wrong with the match. There wasn't. Crowd were lackluster, didn't get into it, which always takes away from the match.
Which I'll talk about the end towards the end.
Yeah. I like the end of the match wasn't for me. I thought it was kind of a little bit rushed. But again, I'm not a wrestler. What do I know? But I do think the crowd not being as into it took away from the match a lot. But I do think it was the match itself happened at the wrong time. Is what I'm saying.
One thing to come out of this is a match we've been waiting for. Well, it's a match, years building up. Again, there's a story going into this.
We've been waiting for this in the Hard Knocks for about a year and a half now.
But in Hard Knocks, we've been waiting for this since the challenge was put out by Steve at Hard Knocks Hard Luck. Justy and Steve Savage will happen.
Banger.
And you're Justy watching the match as well on the stage.
I have a feeling for any hardcore fans out there, that's not going to be a wrestling match. That's going to be an absolute war. You have these two guys who've gone to war in the past, who still have a history together, who still have a lot of beef together, who still want to finish this story once and for all. And it very well will happen in Hard Knocks. I think Justy might have said it at the Hard Luck show. It might have been Steve. I'm not sure. That they want one more to absolutely finish it off, to decide who is better, Justy, Steve Savage. And the fact that it is now for the hardcore title, or not for the hardcore title, the Hard Knocks title, was originally for the Phoenix title. It is now for the Hard Knocks title.
Full circle.
An extra element. We'll just add an extra element to it. And the fact that the original match as well, the match that everyone talks about, took place in Dolans, for this one to now take place, well, we hope to take place in Dolans as well. It's going to be amazing.
I love doing this part now. Carmo, what's coming up on February 16th?
February 16th, Jesus Christ.
You've many weeks of this.
Oh, God. Thank God it's early Christmas. Thank God we're nearly wrapping up the podcast for a few weeks. But February 16th, 2025, Jesus. Dolans Warehouse, Limerick City, Hard Knocks Warzone, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't believe tickets are on sale yet, but when they are, get your tickets, buy them, be there. There's a chance we're going to get to see Justy versus Steve Savage for the Hard Knocks World Championship. There's a chance we're going to get BDE versus the Social League for the tag team titles. And who knows who our new All-Ireland champion is going to go up against in Galachini. But I'm sure for definite it's a show that's not going to be missed.
Well, I heard it's I'll say this much. They're going to hear it in the interview that's going to come out, but I heard this match is going to be full of hype. So look out for it. Look out for the interview, because I don't know who's coming over, but like they're flying pretty far.
Yeah. Did someone say? No, I'm not going to do it because it's going to completely give it away. But
exactly. So
be sure to check out that interview though
with Leon. So
yeah, just in case. Yeah.
Hard Knocks Celebrations Volume 2. Who wants to go first? Rock, paper, scissors.
I'll go 1 out of 10.
Out of 10, and just give your final thoughts.
Final Thoughts, not the best show, but it had a show of moments. And sometimes in a wrestling show, that moments can just drag you through to be a better show than what it ever is. And it happens a lot, I think, in OTT, where you're bad, man. Stop sponsoring Iron Brew. We're not getting paid for
Sponsor
this.
me. Thank you. Send
If
me all the Iron
want
Brew.
to pay, if they want to pay the podcast, the sponsors, or even just send us free cans of Iron Brew, we will absolutely take that sponsorship. But for now,
I will absolutely take that sponsorship.
We've seen this a lot of shows, and especially in OTT shows. I think a lot of the OTT shows get dragged through by special moments. Not dragged through, but get a lot of the moments are remembered more so than anything else. And I think it'll be the same for this show. The moment of Galacini winning the world title, or the All Ireland world title, is one of the best moments I think I've ever experienced in wrestling. Steve Savage winning the world title is obviously a moment that everyone will remember for a long time. The possibility of seeing Sammy D in the ring for the last time is also a big moment that people are going to remember for a long time. For me, out of 10, the first thing that came to my head when you even mentioned the question, and it's no slide on anything, I just don't think the show was the best that it could be. I'm giving a 7.
Fair. That's fair because mine's a lot lower. Right. A lot of things were off that night, and I've said this to everybody, and I've said this to people within Hard Knocks. First off, the crowd was shit. Crowd was shit that night.
But it was funny because even for the first two, like for the Nathan Black match with the heckling that he was got, they were involved and it was good, right? I said it might have been over the line, but they were good. For the Sammy D promo, they were good. They were heckling, might have been a bit over the line, but they were good, right? And after that, nothing.
No. As you said about Mercer getting a pop, I've heard louder from Mercer. We've heard louder. I said this many times. Gala, we've heard louder. Do you know? We've heard the crowd erupt. Do you know who they fucking erupted for one time? That fucking dope. That bald-headed dope.
Yeah. Well, I like him, but
now you agree he's a dope, so. They popped for Robbie Mack, and that was it. That was the only massive pop of the night. So the crowd not being anywhere, it was like, it really annoyed me because I felt like you need crowd involvement for the matches to go and keep keep a good motion. Which is it's nothing on Hard Knocks or the wrestlers. It's on the crowd. It literally felt like a restart. It felt like it's the crowd we had the first show. This is not a knock on Hard Knocks. This is just I wish this happened. In a perfect world, Robbie Mack was.
Don't say it. Don't say it. We all know what you're going to say. Don't say it. I can't. I'm going to cry again. Don't say it, please. I can't.
In a perfect world,
I can't.
Robbie Mack was Axel Jarrett saving Galacini. Like,
stop talking, so I'm hoping you said it. I can't.
That's just I wish. I felt like it didn't feel like an anniversary show. You know, you like anniversary shows. You kind of feel like big kind of atmosphere, big kind of matches. It didn't really feel like that. I felt like a lot of the matches were all right. Nothing like Chris Connolly, Butch was match of the night by far. That was a great match. Was a little disappointed with the gauntlet. Was very disappointed with the main event. The rest of them were kind of what they needed to be, or just me being not happy that two people I feel like are above a showcase match. So for me, Hard Knock Celebration, I actually would just give it a 5. I honest to God thought it happened. You know, you were just kind of there. So nothing again. Majority of it is on the fact that there was like fuck all interaction after an hour.
I think issue is the word I was going to use. It's not an issue. And I think we're both kind of trying to find the right kind of word for the right kind of saying.
We're trying to find a way not to get in trouble.
I don't really care about getting in trouble at this stage. Well, I do, because I still want to do those backstage interviews, or the after or the post-show interviews. But I think the thing is that we've been there for the last 2 years. We've been to every single show that they've had in Dolans. I say that in Dolans because we haven't been to every single show outside of Dolans. And we've seen the absolute best that it can be, crowd or no crowd. And we look back at Warzone that happened this year. Not Warzone, sorry, it was Collision Course this year, where there was no crowd. Because one, there was an All-Ireland match with Limerick was in. OTT Contenders was on. There was a couple of things on that there was no crowd. It was a very, very small crowd. And it was one of the best shows that they put on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we know what these guys can do, no matter what, whether they're at the highest of high, we know what they can do. And it just didn't hit that. Why? I don't know. I don't know anything as to why, but it just didn't hit that. And again, I don't think it's always given out. I think it's wanting.
We love Hard Knocks.
It's wanting more for Hard Knocks. It's wanting Hard Knocks to be the best that it can be. It's wanting Hard Knocks to be the best promotion, not only in Limerick, not only in Munster, but in Ireland.
100%. I want Hard Knocks to be around for 10 fucking plus years, and I know hopefully they are, but you know, I do feel like the show could have been better. I'm gonna start wrapping things up because I know you kind of want to go off and do.
Watch a fight.
He wants to go watch a fight. So overall thoughts, yeah, it happened. It didn't feel like an anniversary show, and that the crowd were just. And I'll say this because what's the crowd going to do? Come up, every person going to come up and tell me, "Fuck you." The crowd was shit. They do that anyways, though. So crowd was shit. Listen, watch out for our Hard Knocks interviews going up on Instagram once I get the fucking footage. Can't wait to be at Hard Knocks Warzone. Looking forward to see what happens there. Listen out for a little tease. We have an interview with Leon in regards to what might be going down for Galaccini. So,
also, give a little bit of news. Today is the 30th of November. I believe we only have 3 episodes left in the year.
3 or 4 episodes, yeah.
Wild. And then we will be taking a little bit of a break. We will be coming back on the 1st of February for the local rumble.
We're taking a month off, you dickhead.
Why not? We took 42 days off earlier in the year.
No, we didn't. We took 2 weeks off. We were back the third week.
I hadn't recorded an episode in 46 days, I think it was.
And we have episodes backed up.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe we'll be back like with live. It depends on how much we do have good things planned for you guys. We have an interview with the man, a yearly interview with the man that was currently wearing his t-shirt, Big Boots Murphy, and then our end of year episodes. So look out for them. They'll be an absolute load of fun. Make sure to follow us, FiveMarks Podcast, FiveMarks Pod on X and TikTok. Carmo, quickly before your match goes on.
Yeah, I have to put it up there.
You could do the outro while you're doing all that.
I know, yeah, but like I have to get things ready. And I like
Jesus Christ, this guy.
I like to see how people are
Where's fucking Emmett?
I've been Carmo, that's been Martin. We have been the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. And for another episode, we are officially Ding.
Yeah.